Okay, here we go.
All right. Hello. Hold on, I gotta get here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so my name is Molly Lujan, and I'm an advanced director, and I live in Savage, Minnesota. Karen has taken me under her wing, so I'm super excited to be able to talk to you guys about host coaching tonight. So the reason why you see two of me is because my microphone for my computer doesn't work, so then I'm on my phone, but it's easier to see all of you on my computer. So you know, technology, it's great.
Yes.
Okay, so tonight we're going to be talking about host coaching, and we're going to start off with just some recognition and talk about your call to actions from last week and see what you guys did and what you learned from it. So first off, did you guys practice any of your booking lines with anyone? So you could practice with another person in the group, a couple friends.
Come on, who practiced?
No one? Anyone? All right, we got to do that this week, ladies. What about practicing your selling and confident close that Gail had talked about with another? Oh, good. No one practiced that either.
Did anyone have any parties this past week? No.
You had a party, Josie? Did you practice your...
This is Marcy Rose.
I'm sorry?
Hello?
I said, this is Marcy Rose.
Hi, Marcy. She's on the phone.
Hey, yeah, I'm on the phone. I just wanted to say that I had a virtual party this week, and I practiced a really good close with that, and it worked out really well.
Awesome. What were your results from that?
I did get a book-in. I was trying to get more, of course, but I did get a book-in for June out of that virtual party.
Awesome. Great job. And how did you feel about your clothes that you used?
I felt pretty good because she actually, you know, I posted it on what she said. I actually posted it on the JoPack page where she said, you know, that if she had anyone that was interested, she would let me know, you know, make sure that they contact me and then they have a good consultant and everything. And that made me feel really good.
Awesome. Good job. Did anyone else have a party? Josie, did you have a party and practice your closing?
Yes, I had a virtual party, which there was only one person that placed the order. But when I talked to Bridget, she had said that she would rather have a cooking show than a virtual show.
Okay.
And she said, I asked her, I said, well, do you want me to give you 2 months maybe and get all settled in and then we'll try it again? And she said that she'd love to. So I got her all scheduled to call back. And then
and Bridget was your host for the virtual party?
Was. Yep, she was. And it just had the one order, didn't go off as expected, but that's okay. You know, it's a learning thing, you know.
Yep.
But she says she'd like to have a cooking show with me because she's been to one cooking show that I had. That's the party. I booked her from that cooking show. And she says she really enjoyed it and that she'd prefer then to have that since the virtual didn't turn out as well.
Awesome. And do you do cooking parties?
Yes, I do. I find I like the cooking parties better than I do the virtual because I enjoy interacting with people and I enjoy the cooking part of it, the talking. So I do. I enjoy the cooking part a lot better. So
yeah, I would agree with you, but they're both good for they both have their benefits.
Yes, they do.
Yes. Awesome. Were any of you did you listen to the audio of Make It a Full Calendar? This had a lot of great tidbits in it.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone listen to it?
I did, but I can't find my notes. I've got a messed up room. But I did want to say, I didn't have a cooking show this week, but I had a vendor event yesterday, And normally I can't get people to actually book at a vendor event. I don't know why. It just normally doesn't happen that way. But I did get a person with a to schedule a show for June. And the reason we went to June is because she's having surgery tomorrow. So that, I was like, yes, just to get one booked on the calendar. So
That is awesome.
I
Congratulations.
must have changed something in the way, because not only that, but I also got an actual recruit lead. I got a lot of leads as far as, putting their names on the drawing slips and stuff like that. But this lady seemed to be really interested in being a consultant.
Awesome. That's a great job.
Really great.
That is exciting. I always tell my team to go into vendor events, and the goal is to get bookings and leads.
Right.
Sales are awesome, but you're in front of people, you're face to face with them. I think that's a great goal, is to get bookings and leads at vendor events. So good job on that.
Thanks.
Okay. Did you find your notes for making a full calendar?
I must have them out in the other room because I was out there looking at stuff earlier. I must have left them out there and not brought them back.
Okay. Did anyone else listen to that? Oh, you guys got to go back.
Yeah, I did.
What did you take from it? Or
I think these are the notes from, and I remember that you've got to believe that people are not doing you a favor, that you've got something that they want, and you're going to provide a good experience.
Yep.
And to let people actually handle and see the equipment before the party, before you start.
Right. So have everything set up before they get there. Be all ready for them when they get there. And then,
Right.
and I do have, because I do station style, so I will have all of my stuff set up, and people will wander into the kitchen area where I have everything, and they will start just picking stuff up and asking questions about it. And yeah, so it's a great conversation starter, and to start building that relationship with the guest. Excellent. Hold on. Joey made some frozen pizzas. Sorry, guys. We have 4 kids, and it's Sunday night, and it's just crazy over here. Okay. I'm just looking at my notes from that call. I liked right at the beginning, Doreen talked about what the secret to having a full calendar is, and I do think that this is really important, is that your calendar will stay full if your party is fun and you are a likable person. Because if they're sitting there as a guest and they are really, truly enjoying themselves, they're going to want to do that again with their friends. So I think I always tell my team members that haven't done a lot of cooking shows, or usually they've been to a couple of mine because I've met them through the cooking parties I've done, but to go on to YouTube and watch a lot of the top sellers and just get wordage from them and learn what they do, and just try to incorporate that in their own way into their parties. But people will book with you if they are having a great time. And I think that really is the key, and that's what Doreen was saying when she started out this call, is that they'll book if they're having fun. So keep that in mind when you're doing your parties, just to make it fun, and think about, if you were the guest in the chair, what would you want to see happening at your cooking party? But if you did not have a chance to go and listen to that call, I highly encourage you to, because it really was great. Does anyone else have anything to add to that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what's next on my agenda here? Oh, who was able to make 15 more contacts this week outside of any parties that you had? This is really huge. Yay! Dixie, tell us about how you made some of those contacts.
Well, a lot of them were at my vendor event,
Oh,
and
sure.
and then I also made just out and about. I changed my purse to catalog tote, and whenever I'm shopping, I make sure that catalog tote is somebody can see it as they're coming towards me, and I never
Right.
put anything in front of it or set any vegetables or whatever on top of it, so it's gleaming out there. So, and I did have a lady stop me in the grocery store Friday, and she said, and of course she's seen Pampered Chef, and she said, do you just have a catalog, or are you a consultant? I said, well, I have a catalog and I am a consultant.
That is so awesome.
So, and I got all her information and stuff, and she took the catalog because she said, she would think about doing a party, but she just wanted to see, because she hadn't seen any Pampered Chef in several years. So I was like, whoa. So I'm calling her back tomorrow.
Awesome.
So
Great job on that. Anyone else make any other interesting 15 contacts this week? All right. I know for myself, I don't know how many I did, but I really, whenever I'm out, I'm very involved in my kids' school. My husband and I are lacrosse equipment managers for the play organization here in town. I go to church. I'm always just, garage sailing was huge this weekend. So no matter where I am or who I'm talking to, Pampered Chef always just kind of makes its way into the conversation. And, it's usually after I talk to them for a while or they ask me what I'm doing. And so that's a great way to just let people know that in the community that I sell. So,
Hey, Molly, would you give us an idea of exactly what one conversation might have happened like today when you were at the garage sale? How do you bring up?
Oh, sure. So it kind of just depends on where the conversation is coming from. I can't think of exact conversation.
Like today, an exact. Did you talk with? Did it come up in the conversation with someone?
I can't even remember.
Okay.
But I would say a lot of it, yes. Oh, today in church, actually, I was, we sit in the exact same seat for like the last 7 years. And so we get to know the people in front of us and around us. And there was a new couple sitting next to us. And so the lady in front of me, I don't even know what her name is, but we talk every single week. And she goes, "Oh, do you work outside of the home?" And I said, "Well, I sell Pampered Chef." She's like, "Oh, you do?" And I said, "Yes." And it didn't really go any further than that. But then the couple next to me heard that, and then he kind of piqued his ears and was listening some more. But she was asking me if I wanted to go to a Bible study on a Wednesday morning. So she was finding out if I was working during the week and if I could attend or not. But that's kind of what I'm talking about is, it didn't like lead to a sale or a booking, but now she knows that I sell Pampered Chef. So if she needs something, she can be like, "Oh, I can talk to Molly because she sells Pampered Chef." So I would say a lot of those kind of connections happen throughout the community when I'm talking with them. Or it'll be, "Oh, were you able to go to that thing last Friday night?" Someone's asking me, and I'm like, "Oh no, I had a Pampered Chef party that night, so I couldn't go to it." And then that could lead into something. So
Excellent.
that just kind of happens with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so I guess we'll just kind of dive into I don't have a clock by me, so you'll have to let me know when my time's getting close.
Okay.
But we're talking about host coaching, and I have my little script here that I'll kind of go by, but I kind of do things a little differently too, and some of you might do things differently. But I'll just start with, I think it was 3 conferences ago I went to a host coaching by Jennifer Courtney, and it changed everything about my business when I went to her host coaching. And I left that workshop thinking, "Oh wow, I am not really doing what I need to be doing for host coaching." And she had sat there and said, I don't know, she had like 26, 46, $1,000 parties that year. I mean, and insane amount, and I probably had 3, and I'm like, oh, I got to fix this. And so I really took what she was doing, and I've implemented that since then. So I'll share with you with what this program says, but I'm also going to share with you what I do personally. And I know Natalie, who's a director on this, she does something else that's very successful for her. So I feel like the script's kind of vague in things because everybody has learned from different people on what works. I think you need to just take whatever piece you have and make it work for you and how you run your business. So to start off with, when you book a party, hopefully at a party, because that's the easiest way to do it, you're going to sit down with your new host and you're going to ask them what they loved about the party they just attended. You're going to ask what products they're most excited about, because this is going to help you to get them excited about their party and help them get all the guests there and know what their goal is so they can get the products that they really want. You're going to ask them to send to see this. Karen, is it okay if I just kind of share what I do for host coaching?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because this is not what I do. So, this is totally me with my whole Pampered Chef business, but it works out well. I'm pretty successful. So, okay, here's what I do. Okay, I use the host folders, and I have these ready to go at my party. If I'm really on top of it, I have several of them in my bag ready to go. If I'm not that organized that night.
I wish I could show you the 24 I have over here next to my desk.
Your 24 host packets, like ready to mail out. Yeah, I think I mailed about 13 of them before we left for San Diego. I did. That was for May and June, because I'm like, I'm getting all of these out before I go to San Diego. So anyway, it is nice if you have them ready in your bag, because then you don't have to pay the shipping to give them to the host. But I like to use the folders because, one, I think it looks really nice, and I don't know, I'd be pretty impressed if a consultant handed me this folder when I hosted a party. So I sit down then, and it's blank when I give it to them, but I sit and I fill it out with them, sitting right there. So I'll just put the date and the time when I'll show up. I usually show up about 30 minutes before, so I write that. And then I go over this party checklist at the bottom here, and I just circle make a product wish list, and I tell them to take one of the catalogs I'm sending home with them and go and circle everything that they want and make their wish list. And then I encourage them to go online as well and make their wish list, and then they can send that to me, so I can also see what they're really wanting, so I can help them get all of that. The other thing I circle is to collect the outside orders. I tell them the outside orders are huge for their party. And especially when, it is any month, but especially when it's a double free month, because you, one, want them to get to the $650 to get that double free. And then when they see that every $100, it's going up $50 free for them, they get very motivated. So when I can get hosts to bring in $300, $400, $500 of outside orders to add to their party, they are so excited about everything that I'm able to give them for free. So I talk to them about that. And then inside of my packet, it kind of looks like this. I have papers on this one side with the mini catalogs. And then over here, I'll have the Life Tastes Great. And then I put the catalogs behind that one. They're not in here currently. But people do this various ways. What I do is I actually give them a whole packet of mini catalogs. I order probably, I don't know how many of these in a season, 30, maybe more. I don't really know. But I give them all 25. And if I'm handing this to them at a party, I tell them, I will send you labels in the mail, because then what I do is I just make an address label that says their part, or, Susie's Pampered Chef Party, the date and time, the address, and then I put their party link on it, and I have them just stick that right on the front of it. And I tell them, I go, pass all of these out. I go, because it's a little mini catalog. I go, so even if they can't make it to the party, they're going to see something they want in there, and they're going to go to your link and order online and have it shipped to them when the party's done.
And don't they still have those sticker formats on the Pampered Chef website?
They do, I think. I was just looking through the notes, and they have.
I don't use them anymore. I've kind of created my own, which I can post, but
right. They say that if you go to my shows and then show planning materials
Okay.
and then printable labels and guest address labels.
Okay.
So it's underneath my shows and planning materials. Okay. I actually just go to avery.com because I use the Avery labels, and then I created one and you can save it in your projects on Avery. So I just pull it up and I just, change
cool
out the
to
name
know.
and date. Yeah. And you can make them kind of cool looking and whatever you want. Actually, no, I was wondering if I had any here, but I don't. So that's what I do. I do invest in the mini catalogs. I don't mail them out for my hosts. I know some consultants do that. I tried to offer that once, but I personally am just not organized enough to do it. I'll just be honest. I'm not very organized.
Yeah,
so
you.
It's whatever works for you. If it works for you to do it, that's awesome. Okay. Then what I also put in here is I usually have a couple of the month. So like if I was going to a May party, I would probably have May, June, and a few Julys printed off because I don't know what month they're going to book. I always share all 3 months of promotions. Consultants do this differently, but I do think a lot of people book based on what the special is, depending on what they're wanting. My calendar is usually 2 months full, so I feel comfortable at offering all 3 monthly promotions. So also that's up to you.
I would add that if you're not booked 2 months ahead,
right,
you only offer, you want to book in close.
Right, exactly. So you do what works for you, but like if you're going to a May party tomorrow night and you have nothing else on your calendar, you want to book the closest May parties. And then if you have to go into June, but you want to book the first week of June, because the goal is that you would get bookings from that first party in June for later in June. So yes, you need to do what will work best for your business. But I do have those monthly specials ready because I put one in there. If I had a May party, I like these at a glance sheets that Pamper Chef makes for us. I think those are pretty cool. So I put that in there, and I put the guest special in there as well. Okay, so this is what I do a little differently, and I can definitely post these on our little group thing, but this is what Jennifer Courtney does. So I do it, but it's really hard to read, so I will post it in here. But this is a fridge chart sheet that she puts in here, and basically what it does, and it's edible, so you can make it work for your business, but basically what it does is it says, please put me on your fridge, and then if I show up to the party and I see it on the fridge, they get a season's best for free. I always give it anyway, no matter what, but it's a little encouragement. But like it says on here, 40 invited means 20 say yes, means 15 show up. Just get 10 outside orders from the 25 who say they can't make it. This almost always equals a $700 to $1,500 party, which is $140 to $340 free. So I kind of walk through those numbers with my hosts and explain to them why they want to invite so many people, because based on statistics, this is how many will really show up, blah, 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 and all of that. But then again, I just write in the party date and time, and it's just kind of their go-to sheet so they know what they need to do for their party. And then the other thing that I do, this is another sheet that she has that I'll post. So this one is a thank you so much, and it's just having our shows as easy as 1, 2, 3. And it just says invite and keep inviting, remind everyone to come, and grocery shop from the grocery list I've given you. And then she has like little information for each of those. But those are also things that you want to be following up with them, whether you call or you're Facebook messaging or texting, however you're communicating with your host. Not only do you give her the sheet, but you want to make sure that you check in and say, hey, how are the invites going? How many of you invited? Can we think of any more people? You want to remind her to invite people, because I will tell her, I go, the Pamper Chef party is not at the top of the list for your guests. It just isn't. I go, so you're going to need to keep reminding them about this party and letting them know when it is. Can they come? And I always use myself as an example because I love Usborne books. So when a friend's having a party, I'm like, yes, invite me. And usually it's a virtual party, so I'll kind of peek on and off, and then the orders are coming due, and then it's 2 more days till the orders are due, and I still haven't done it. And finally they're like, Molly, are you going to order? Oh, yeah, I'll order. Well, then my kids take me away and I don't get it done. And then they're like, Molly, you said you wanted to order. Yeah, I'm going to order. So like, I'm glad they're reminding me, because otherwise I would totally forget about it because I have a million other things to do. So that, I think, is just a good thing to tell your host, that you're not bugging them, especially if they've shown interest in the party. You just need to keep reminding them, because we all have a million other things to do. So I think that's huge, to remind your host to remind their friends to come to the party. And then the other, on the back part of this page, is a host challenge. And again, this is totally up to you if you want to do this or not, but it is something that I do, and you can make it for however you want. So like I said before, outside orders are huge for a party. And I only do this with my cooking show hosts. I don't offer this to my virtual parties. But if they get $250 of outside orders, they can pick any of the cookbooks for free. And I add that in, and I add that to their host order. So, hopefully usually they're getting 30% off. So I pay the 30% off, and then I have commission on top of it, because it's above and beyond their free product. And if they get $500 in outside orders, I get them the large bar pan. And I think it ends up costing me $27 or something. But usually at that point, it's well over $1,000 party. So it was worth it, because she worked at getting $500 in outside orders. But again, you don't have to do that, or you can make it be a batter bowl, or whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with doing. But you know how they always say, you got to spend a little money to make some money. So some hosts are very intrigued by any extras that you can give them. And so that's something that I do. So those are in my host packet. And then, of course, you always want to have your life taste great in your host packet and go over this with them. And then I do print off the coupon. And I don't know if I have one printed off. I might have used all of them with that last send out of all host packets. But there's a coupon that tells them how they can use $25 or $50 of their free product towards the kit and starting their own business. So you definitely want to go over this, and your hosts are some of your best leads. So you want to talk to your hosts about the business a couple different times. And there's definitely been times where a host is like, no, I am absolutely not interested. Actually, 2 summers ago, yes, thank you, Karen. Karen's showing it. They print 3 to a page, and you just cut them apart. But I had a friend that we went to college together, but we reunited here where we live. And she came to a party, and she didn't book a party with me that day. And 2 days later, she messaged me, and she's like, okay, I need to have a party, because I do need that spiralizer. The one I have is not good. So she booked a party, and I talked to her about the business. And she's like, no, I'm in nursing. I nurse. No, I can't do this. And so she started getting some outside orders. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to think about the business? I go, you love the product. And then, I said, no. Well, she ended up submitting a $1,200 party. At the party, she starts talking to me about the business. And she then decides that she wants to take the kit credit and join. So she did a $1,200 party at the beginning of July, and she did her launch. She did a virtual launch party and did $1,200 at the end of the month. So I could have given up on her, because she flat out told me no, but you keep asking. That's part of the host coaching, and you just keep asking them if they want to do it. And if at the end of the party they really truly don't, then you're like, okay, well, you know where to find me if you change your mind. And so that's that part. But then on the back of this folder is their top 40 invite list. So I do encourage them to fill that out. And if they need help, some people will be like, well, I don't have that many friends. So you just start brainstorming with them. Who do you know at church? Who do you know at your job? What about your spouse's job? Your neighbors, book club? Just really help them with getting their guest list. And I kind of encourage them by saying a lot of people have Pampered Chef that they want to order, but they're just waiting to be invited to a party. There's a lot of people that show up and say, oh, I've been needing to get a new batter bowl, but I didn't know anyone having a party. I'm so glad you're having one and you invited me. And because whether they don't know they can go online and order, I'm not quite sure, but they think that they need to be invited to a party to order. So I just encourage them to invite everyone, because everybody eats and everybody cooks, and everyone can learn something from our parties and take it back with them to their kitchen and implement it. So I don't think there's ever anyone that you can't invite to a Pampered Chef party. So that's what I send home with the host packet. And then from that point, what I do is I set them up obviously in the party, and I do send them from our show page. I send them the email that Pampered Chef has generated, and a lot of them will use that as a guest list, because I talk to them about, you want to invite your friends in a lot of different ways. Don't just use a Facebook invite. You need to text them. And so I'll go on. I like to use Word Swag, which is an app, and I might make them a little picture that says, come to Susie's party and the date and time or whatever. Or on Facebook, you can now take the images and you can put text on top of them right on Facebook. And I'll do that and just save it. And I actually do that in my Molly's garage. I got that idea from Karen. Your own little personal group. Okay, so Karen made, she created a group called Karen's Garage, and it's where when she finds things that she doesn't want to lose, she posts it in her garage. So it's only her that, well, I'm in it too, so I get to see the stuff she does. But I go in there, so like if I want to create that image, I just go into my Molly's Garage because nobody else has seen me do it, but I can then save it to my computer or save it to my phone. So it's just a great place to house things that you don't want the whole Facebook world to know. So it's just a group, and then I just name it Molly's Garage because that's where we keep everything. So that's kind of a fun tip. Thanks, Karen, for that. Okay. So I'll send them that email, encourage them to invite many different ways. I'll create a Facebook event for them because I think that is a great way just to stay in touch with the guests. You can post about guest specials, you can post recipes, you can share what you're going to cook at the party. Just get them excited about it. And I even do some non-Pampered Chef posts as well, just to get them talking and interacting. And it's a little more difficult now that we can't use SendShare because I would schedule everything. So I just try to, at one point during the day, I just go into all my events and just, usually I do the same post because it just makes it easy for me. And then my form of communication is Facebook Messenger. I very rarely pick up the phone, and I know some people don't agree with that, but I just do much better talking through Messenger. I don't even text that much to my host. I don't even really think about that. Messenger, and some prefer email. So I just will encourage them and give them ideas of what they can post, because I encourage them to post in the events as well, because I tell them that their guests want to hear from them and not just me. And if the more excitement they share for their party, the more excited their guests are going to be about the party as well. So a lot of my guests, when they do a great job, some will go Facebook Live and they'll share all the product they have in their kitchen. I love it because half of the products all discontinued. So I just sit and watch. I'm like, oh, nobody can buy any of that, but they love it, so they share it, and or they'll post pictures, or they'll show pictures of their kids using the product, and it's just great. I love how the hosts get involved with that. But then it really is just the follow-up and helping them to get the people at the party. So that's kind of what I do in a nutshell. Is there any questions on anything that I do?
We've got about 4 minutes, so yeah, if you have questions, this is the time to ask.
Does that include if I share my inspirational thing?
That is 3:56. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that went really fast.
Yeah.
Dang.
A lot of information.
So I don't think Natalie's on here, but she does host Tic-Tac-Toe, and she's gonna post that on our thing, and maybe I'll get her to go Facebook Live and talk about it. But she does really, really well with that. And again, that's something that I've thought about doing, but I tried it a couple times. I didn't follow through very well with it. So I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't the time for me to do it. But that was, she'll share it. She does well with that, how she does it.
Tic-Tac-Toe for the host?
Yeah.
Okay.
It helps her to get outside orders before the party, and it helps her to get bookings too, that the host brings bookings to her.
You know, I know that one of the things I did, and I'll do this every once in a while, is if I want more bookings. Now, again, and this is before Pampered Chef. Remember when Pampered Chef rewards the host for booking, you know, with the future host, with future program. But anyway, I would offer something like the Rectangle Baker if someone had 3 bookings at their party. and I wouldn't give it to them until the third party was held.
Right.
And then if you break down really how much that costs, it's minuscule, really.
Right.
And I order it on, I order on the host's discount.
Yep.
So it costs me less money.
I do that too, and I actually offer them the stainless steel bowls for free.
Wow.
And I got that from Michael Reeves, and I think I have 3 sets that I owe right now to people. So, and if I sat down and totaled what those shows have brought into me, I mean, it's crazy because my show average, I think right now is about $1,100. That's because I've had some fundraisers and so a bridal shower and stuff like that in there. But, you know, if I can even get $900 off those 3 parties, so that's $2,700 in sales. I order those bowls on the third party, which usually hopefully is at 30% discount. I think it cost me $47. Well, I've just made almost $900 on those 3 parties.
If you would
that's
pay
worth it.
$15 a booking.
Yeah. So it's totally worth it. And again, you can choose to do whatever you want, but just like Karen said, I do not give the host those bowls until that third party is qualified and submitted. All 3 parties have to qualify in order to get those bowls. But people are very motivated by that. I mean, it's $100 set of bowls. It's awesome. But okay, so, I'm going to end you with my inspiration. I'll
less
go quick.
than a minute. Okay.
Okay, so I'm reading The Wisdom of Oz, which is on personal accountability. And it goes with the characters of The Wizard of Oz. So this is what it says. As you read The Wisdom of Oz, you will take the same journey of self-discovery that enabled Dorothy and her new friends to replace ignorance with knowledge, fear with courage, paralysis with power, and victimization with accountability. You will learn how to tap the inner power you already possess to get the results you want and to conquer any and all obstacles that get in your way. No wizard can make this happen. Only you can do it. Sure, you may get a little help now and then, but your success depends largely on you. And just like the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Cowardly Lion, who really wish they only had a whatever, you're going to discover the power that already lies within you to get what you're after. So it's all in you.
Favorite movie.
It's all up to you. You have everything in you to make the business soar. So go do it.
Excellent.
All right.
You also got a couple of tips. Share your favorite tip. Put it in the comments and in the page and let us know what your favorite tip from tonight is. And I'll post the recording